The movie begins in Spain, where there has been a shortage of necessities. The government takes the advice of the Western nation to start operations. Not enough for all. For the operation, citizens are to be killed to ensure that the commodities available are enough for survival. To begin, they eliminate older individuals first, then target pregnant women and young children. Amid these bad political decisions, there are two lovers, Nico and Mia. Their union is blessed with a girl who had been taken over by the authorities and killed. And at the moment, Mia is pregnant. Nico doesn't want to lose his wife and baby, so he makes plans for them to escape to Ireland. They pay some agents to transport them to Ireland for safety, and Mia struggles with Nico to smuggle behind all the containers until they find their designated container. As they reach, they find another agent who insists they must pay more because the risks have increased. Nico's out of cash, so the agents request his wedding rings, and he hands them over. He calms Mia down as they successfully reach their container. They meet several other people who want to escape in the container. They all stay there silently without talking to each other. While en route, Nico informs Mia about their Ireland plans, emphasizing that Ireland rejects the Western survival strategy of harming others, ensuring their safety. Nico gives Mia a chocolate, promising to enjoy it together in Ireland to celebrate their escape. While Mia worries about their daughter, she hopes the girl is alive, but Nico insists they focus on self-protection as the girl is likely long gone. They fall asleep, and the following day they wake up to noises in front of the container. Nico peeps through the hole to find out what is happening, and at that moment the door opens and several other people rush into the container. The container gets filled up and the agent screams that some passengers should come out and join the next container. As Nico is still at the container's edge, he's among the passengers told to exit. He pleads to stay with his wife, but no one listens. One of the agents threatens to shoot him, so he reluctantly follows the next container. Mia gets scared and screams for her husband. She calls Nico, and he reassures her his container is right behind. He promises to meet with her by the river. As the journey continues, Mia glimpses citizens fighting and killing for food through the window. They eventually reach a checkpoint, and the soldier asks to search their container. They all hide at a place behind the real container, but the soldier realizes that the space he is seeing is smaller than the actual space in the container. He convinces them to come out, promising to protect them. Unable to trust the officer, Mia climbs to a cabin behind her. One of the passengers opens the door, and the soldiers shoot at them. They start to kill everyone, including the little kids, clear their bodies, and seal the container to continue their trip. After the officers leave, Mia tries to call Nico since his container is coming after theirs, but his phone isn't connecting. She sends him a voice message asking him to hide because the officers killed everyone in her container. She continues the journey with the container until she gets to the port. At the port, she tries to contact Nico again, but his call doesn't connect. She sends him another voice message, wondering where he is, as her container boards the ship to Ireland. Mia falls asleep and she wakes up to a commotion. She peeps through the hole and sees their ship is experiencing turbulence. The container keeps shaking rigorously and she's being thrown around. She hits her head eventually and faints. When she wakes up, she finds herself in the pool of water. Her container has fallen off the ship, sinking because of the hole. She tries to contact Nico, but her phone has stopped working due to the water. She sees a cell phone left by one of the passengers who was killed, and she switches it on, but the phone requests a password. She thinks of the best way to seal the holes, so she tries to find anything in the container that she can use. She searches around, but all she finds are boxes of plastic containers, television shirts, and hoodies. She takes one piece of the hoodie and wears it before she fortunately finds a tape. She uses the tape to seal the hole and goes to rest. She dreams that she is drowning, and when she wakes, she sees the force of the river has removed the tape. She keeps checking for anything to close the hole, but all she sees are plastic containers. Angrily, she throws the containers off, and her attention draws to a rubber in the container, and she uses it to block the holes. That works perfectly for her, and she also uses a hose to transfer some of the water inside her container out. She gets some rest, but hears a loud noise later. She peeps outside and sees the container Nico took drowning in the river. She tries to get Nico's attention, but no one can hear her. She rushes and puts her SIM on the other phone. She calls Nico, but his number isn't reachable. She watches the container as it drowns and assumes Nico is dead. Depressed, she considers ending herself with the knife she found. But her baby's kick convinces her to stay alive. Therefore, She begins to search the containers for things she could use daily, and also finds a drill. Sometime later, she receives a call from Nico, who reveals that the agent betrayed them and dropped him in the city. She tells him she isn't on the ship too, and her container has fallen off. She describes that she is in the middle of nowhere and all she can see is water. Meanwhile, Nico promises he will come to save her. He encourages her to remain strong for the baby. That day, another high storm occurs, and it attacks her container. While struggling with that, she gets into labor. She uses the hoodie to tie herself as she gives birth to the child in the container. Her baby is a girl who is named Noah. Noah cries due to neglect, so she tears part of a hoodie for a diaper and tries to give her milk. But Mia's body isn't producing milk. Trying to find a way out, she uses the drill to open a path on top of the container, but the noise affects Noah, who keeps crying. So she stops and pets her baby. The following day, her body starts producing breast milk, so she feeds Noah. She also continues the drilling until the drill battery runs out. She returns her SIM to her phone, but her phone doesn't respond. Frustrated, she throws the plastic containers around her, and she sees her knife. She keeps running out of food as she eats her last meal. She uses the knife to continue cutting the container so she can come out, but her hope dashes as the knife breaks. That night, she is so hungry that she goes to eat her baby's placenta as food, and also drinks dirty water. She sees a whale in the river and she struggles to stand still, so the whale can leave without attacking them. She runs short of water, gets weak, and starts hallucinating. She sees her late daughter Uma and also her husband. Luckily, rain falls and drops into the leaked top of the container, so she drinks water and starts collecting it for survival. She manages to tie some hoodies together and drag the top of the container she had drilled. She eventually sees the sky for the first time, while taking Noah to the top of the container and throws her dirty napkins away. She notices some fish and realizes she can feed on them. She tries to make a makeshift hook but fails to catch any fish. Suddenly, she sees an airplane. She rushes inside the container to take a screen to alert the plane. As she drags herself out, she cuts herself, and the plane also doesn't see her. In tears and pain, she returns to the container and uses the wires of the television to sew her wound. She also uses the earphones in the container to make a fishing net. She uses the net to catch some fish and gets a good meal for the first time after days. Some days later, she receives a call from Nico. In tears, he tells her he got a boat, but before he could escape, he was shot. He is losing a lot of blood and might not survive much longer, so he wants to speak to her for the last time. He regrets suggesting the trip in the first place, and to make him feel better, she announces the good news of Noah's birth. Delighted, Nico hears his daughter's voice for the first time, and the phone battery runs flat soon after. Mia mourns the death of her husband bitterly. She figures that the container will soon get to its maximum limit, and she hopes that she will be able to save her child. She decides to make a makeshift boat in case the container eventually drowns. When she tries it with a television, she sees it doesn't swim, and she considers what to do. She sees seagulls. She takes it as a sign of hope and realizes dead fishes call the attention of seagulls. On day 26, the container reaches its limit and starts drowning. She has made her boat, and she puts Noah there. Mia enters the container for the last time, but sees the chocolate Nico gave her inside. She struggles to pick it up, but her leg gets stuck. Before she breaks free, the container already drowns. She swims outside but can't find Noah. She cries out Noah's name in pain, and a passing whale drenches Noah, causing her to cry loudly, allowing Mia to reach her easily. That morning, she hangs herself on the boat with a rope and throws some dead fish to call seagulls. The number of seagulls surrounding her calls the attention of a couple fishing. Curious, they take their boat there and see Noah. When they rescue her, they drag the rope and find Mia too. The wife resuscitates Mia through CPR, and immediately Mia wakes. She asks for her daughter and they give Noah to her. Mia realizes she is safe while she cries for joy as their boat approaches the shores of Ireland. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Leave a like to help the channel out. Also, leave a comment if you'd like us to recap your favorite movies. Thanks for watching.